Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I am Norlene Ebel Ame. We begin the broadcast from the agri sector, where the federal government has commenced the distribution of farm inputs to farmers across the country, with 12 states benefiting in the first phase. Achigili Magaji reports that 280 farmers cutting across cooperative societies, women and youth groups, as well as persons living with disabilities are benefiting in Nasarawa State.
Take it as a gift from the federal government that will help us to revamp food production in this country.
We are very, very happy to the President of Nigeria, to the Federal Ministry of Agriculture for their kind gesture to us.
Please pass our information. We are grateful to Mr. President, and we are willing to work with these items that has been given unto us today.
We will not take this kind gesture for granted.
From Gombe, Abbas Maikano says 20 cooperative groups in the state have benefited from the federal government's free agro-inputs distribution program. The items distributed are basic farm machines for small-scale farmers.
It is a free of charge instead of the farmers to take his money to go and buy it in the market. So actually it minimizes the suffering of the farmers in Gombe State.
We thank the federal government for all the things they done for us because they did it severally. This is not the first time.
Items.
In other news, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, says the federal government, under the Renewed Hope agenda, has unprecedentedly delivered on its campaign promises and deepens commitment in sustaining national development on the right trajectory. The SGF was speaking during an event to honor his chief of staff and his wife, where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presidency within the period of stewardship was brought to front banner and assessed for a job well done as Nigeria marks 65th independence anniversary celebration.
We're talking on super highways for the first time in the history of this country. And you go to the economy, things are picking up. When this government took over, well, nothing in our foreign reserves. Today we boast of 42 billion in our foreign reserves. Tax reforms have come, and today businessmen are sure of how much they are going to pay as taxes. There is nothing arbitrary about tax administration again. Foreign exchange windows were 4 before this government took over. Today you have only one window. The list is endless.
Look around you, look at the infrastructure, look at what is happening with students, look at basically what is even happening with our foreign reserves, where it was when we took over and where it is now.
The present government is doing so much, placing women in positions of authority, and gradually we'll get there.
The occasion was used to appeal to Nigerians to rally around the Renewed Hope agenda for political stability, social harmony and economic prosperity of Nigeria and Nigerians. In the meantime, the federal government has directed contractors handling the reconstruction and expansion of the Abuja-Kefi Expressway to embark on night construction to reduce traffic congestion along the Abuja-bound section of the route. Minister of State for Works, Bello Muhammad Goronyo, who used the opportunity, who issued the directive during an inspection tour of the project, said the completion timeline is still December 2026. Usman Zubairu reports.
The ongoing expansion work on the Abuja-Kefi Expressway started in December last year. Already 41 kilometers of the 43.6 kilometers of the road from Kefi have been completed. This 3-kilometer stretch has long been a trouble spot, prone to severe water logging during rainfall, resulting in major traffic congestion for motorists.
Emergency on Nigerian road.
Minister of State for Works, Bello Goronyo, says government understands the plight of Nigerians and has therefore directed the contractor to adopt immediate measures, including night work, to ease the hardship faced by road users.
We must ensure that he mobilizes fully to this site to maintain this road because there are heavy traffic on this axis, and we're not happy with the way and manner people are suffering on this road. This road is a very important arterial road, and people must have ease of movement along this corridor.
We have the confidence to finish this project on time.
The minister still warned the contractor handling the work that the ministry will not tolerate further delays. He emphasized that the road project is of paramount importance to Nigerians and will be completed to the highest standard, adhering strictly to specifications. In Abuja, Usman Zubairu, NTA News.
Elsewhere, the nation's capital city and environs are on the verge of having a sustainable street light system aside to the provision road infrastructure put in place. This follows the flag-off of the installation of integrated hybrid solar lighting within the district of the Federal Capital Territory and expressways. Onoze Yakubu reports that the initiative is under the Light Up Abuja project.
The pilot of the Light Up Abuja project covers Lot 1 and 2 of the capital city. This is in a bid to ensure better illumination of the streets at night, thereby improving the security situation of the city. The benefiting districts under Lot 1 include Maitama, Central Area, Wuse, Asokoro, and Airport Expressway, while Lot 2 comprises Katankwe and Extension, Jabi, Gariki, Gudu, and Mabushi areas.
The effort of the FCT administration in keeping the streetlights in the city in top performance had not yielded the desired result, mainly due to power outages, vandalism, leading to darkness in many areas of the city.
We are not just flagging up the project, but we are bringing light where there was darkness. We are bringing safety where there were fears. We are also bringing hope where there were doubts.
We signed an agreement with these two companies, CGC and CCCC. We signed to the CGC, one to provide water in the satellite towns, which is ongoing, and one to help in terms of lighting up Abuja.
The project is expected to be delivered in 6 months. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
From Abuja, we take you to Enugu, where Nigeria celebrates her 65th independence anniversary. The nation continues to measure progress across key sectors of the economy. While it may not yet be all success in every area, remarkable strides have been recorded, particularly in the electricity sector. In this report, correspondent Chika Okorie examines the decentralization of power supply and Nigeria's steady journey towards energy reforms.
The complete cities in power generation and distribution, once considered a huge challenge, began to ease with the enactment of the Electricity Act 2023. More reliable electricity supply, now made possible through the involvement of state government, has opened fresh opportunities ranging from job creation to healthy competition among investors, while also making the entire process more citizen-driven. These achievements, Enugu residents say, must be recounted as Nigeria marks 65 years of independence.
The country has made tremendous improvements, especially under the leadership of the current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And one of the areas which the country is now registering very great improvements is electricity.
As it is, hope now shines on over 113 vulnerable communities that were previously underserved or not served at all.
With the passage of the Electricity Act, the first the first law that was signed into place in Enugu State was the Enugu State Electricity Law to transform our electricity industry.
Although citizens continue to point out areas requiring deeper attention, there is broad agreement that President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda is steadily positioning Nigeria for greater progress. In Enugu, Chika Okorie, NTA News.
Still staying with Chika Okorie in Enugu, let's now join her live to tell us more about the decentralization of power. Hello, Chika. From your findings, how do you think the decentralization of Nigeria's power sector, as facilitated by the Electricity Act 2023, will impact the country's energy landscape, particularly in terms of addressing grid instability and promoting renewable energy integration and, of course, the opportunities thereof?
All right, thank you, studio. Let me borrow the words of one of the respondents who said that 65 years down the line, Nigeria has made great or huge successes in several areas. But because of this report, we are paying attention to the power sector, which was hitherto considered as the nation's weakest link. But with the Act, that is the 2023 Electricity Act, which gave autonomy to state governments to generate, transmit, and distribute electricity, a lot has been done. So many states are enjoying this. And coming to Enugu in particular, which is the first that has taken full control of electricity generation, transmission, and distribution, the state government is doing very, very well. Like you heard in that report, where the Enugu Electricity Regulatory Commission, chaired by Chijioke Okonkwo, said yes, that the state is actually exploring and harnessing its energy potentials and focusing on solar, which is a renewable energy. Like right now in the states, you see most places get lights more than 20 hours per day. And to make this more feasible, like many communities which before now, lacked access to electricity are having access. And in 2026, the state hopes to provide electricity to every community in Enugu, providing electricity that will be very, very affordable, stable, and reliable to both commercial centers, homes, and other places. I want to tell you that right now, like in August this year, the state government made a bold statement by not only providing the people with reliable source of electricity, but the electricity tariff was actually slashed from 209 naira to 160 naira per kilowatt. What a commendable effort. And while interacting with the commission, we were meant to know that this Electricity Act, which was actually passed into law in 2023, made the state to actually be creating a lot of jobs for people, because right now so many artisans are into electricity. The commission is training them to empower them to contribute in this regard. Investors are entering into Enugu State because of stable power supply, and there is a lot of competition in this sector. Homes are now enjoying electricity. The very important aspect of this act, that it gave ownership to citizens, because we are meant to know that in the present act, that in a case of vandalism, unmetered customer pay hugely, they bear the brunt. Because of this, citizens are taking ownership. There is nothing or little vandalism in Enugu State. Like I am saying, just within the capital city, we do have nothing less than 20 hours light per day.
All right, very well spoken, Chika Okorie. Very well spoken. Thank you so much for your contribution from Enugu State. All right, let's move to other matters now. The story of healthcare infrastructural renewal in Gombe State is unfolding with the inauguration of a 100-bed Senator Oluremi Tinubu Mother and Child Specialist Hospital. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, while inaugurating the facility built by Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, says the project reflects the commitment of the federal government to providing children with healthy start in life. State House correspondent Adeni Tayo reports.
It is day 2 of our maiden visit to Gombe State
And Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, leaves no one in doubt of one of her priorities: improved health care for mother and child. The inauguration of this 100-bed facility, built by Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals and named after her, is not just a fitting climax to her visit, but another marker in the continuing effort of the Bola Tinubu administration to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals.
The commissioning of this hospital is not just the unveiling of a building. It is the opening of doors to life, to hope, and to a healthier future for our mothers and our children. Healthcare, especially maternal and child health, is at the heart of the Renewed Hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, which seeks to ensure that every Nigerian child has a healthy start in life and that no mother dies while birthing life. It is my belief that this facility will provide quality health care services, reduce maternal and infant mortality, and bring relief to families in Gombe State and beyond.
This project is being commissioned under the New Hope agenda of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, a vision grounded in social inclusion, equity, and strategic acceleration of national development outcomes across Nigeria.
The healthcare infrastructural renewal story gets better with the inauguration of another project, this time Gombe State College of Nursing Sciences, built by the state government. She applauded the state government for its focus on the health sector, noting that such synergy between the federal government and the subnationals will yield better dividends for the people. From Gombe in Gombe State, Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
In a related development, the Renewed Hope Initiative, RHI, of Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has launched its Flow with Confidence program in states. Hassana Abubakar Koko reports from Birnin Kebbi that the program targets 370,000 schoolgirls with a one-year supply of disposable sanitary pads to encourage school attendance during their menstrual cycle.
Of Our Excellency, to make sure that our out-of-school girls are returned to school. We thank her most sincerely for this particular initiative.
In Lagos, the initiative empowered schoolgirls with disposable sanitary pads to help them manage their menstrual health with dignity. Joyken Abapoya, who monitored the launch in Lagos, reports that each beneficiary is expected to receive a one-year supply.
To the executive chairman of local government areas, it is crucial that you take ownership of this intervention, scale up, and ensure these supplies get directly to deserving girls in our rural communities.
In Ekiti State, Tayo also reports that more than 10,000 secondary school students have been empowered by the wife of the president, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, in Ado Ekiti.
For us, at the Redeem Hope Initiative, we believe that no girl should ever have to choose between her dignity and education. The success of Flow with Confidence program depends on all of us.
Still talking health in what is being described as a life-changing humanitarian gesture, the Jigawa State government, in collaboration with the World Assembly of Muslim Youth, WAMI, has carried out more than 200 major surgeries at Birnin Kudu General Hospital. The landmark exercise, which coincides with Nigeria's 65th independence anniversary, is the first of its kind by WAMI in the country. Muhammad Musa Skira reports.
The governor explained that the surgical mission is the result of his official visit to WAMI's headquarters in Saudi Arabia last year, where discussions were held on expanding humanitarian cooperation. So far, over 2 billion naira has been expended on the exercise, which has brought relief to hundreds of indigent patients who had long been waiting for such interventions. Governor Namadi noted that the partnership will not end with surgery alone, but will extend to a broader humanitarian services for the people of Jigawa. For many of the beneficiaries in Birnin Kudu, the intervention is not just medical relief, but a new lease of life, symbolizing hope at a time the nation marks its independence.
This is a major general operation that EBAWOME has ever taken place in Nigeria. And today, they are successfully has operated over 218 patients. Some of them are very, very critical situations that we would even find it difficult to do it in this country.
Meanwhile, the governor also inspected ongoing developmental projects in the state capital Dutse, including township road construction, a newly built all-inclusive skill acquisition center, CNG conversion center, and a fabrication hub, all designed to empower youth and boost the state's economy. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs says it has verified and certified 110 zonal intervention and constituency projects across the 6 geopolitical zones within the third quarter of 2025. Kenneth Nanim reports that school renovations, borehole installations, agricultural empowerment, medical outreach, and street lighting are part of the projects.
This is an open forum for stakeholders and other citizens' engagement with the Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs. Here, evaluation of the impacts of the projects executed in the communities to stimulate local economies and improve access to basic services in the grassroots is on the front burner. The ministry says a software application developed by its personnel is instrumental to real-time monitoring of the projects, no matter the location.
It's called PMIS GIS. If you don't know the beauty of technology, it cuts off risks for you. And that's what's even giving us more marks now, because we have a unique IT application that is giving us the results we want.
More inclusive participation of stakeholders in projects monitoring and evaluation, the need to prioritize security and local government administration that will engender grassroots development are some of the issues under discussion.
Let us take advantages of this financial local government autonomy to strengthen these departments, so that when something happens, the ministry will say they have done their own part.
In Abuja area, we are currently experiencing illegal mining activities along our boundary with Niger State. Our community in these areas are gradually being displaced. We would like Your Excellency to use your good office to urgently intervene on the matter.
The session also agreed that keeping a tab on government projects, especially in rural communities, is everyone's business, and that will guarantee effective feedback mechanism that will foster intergovernmental synergy that enhances effective service delivery. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
More news on Nationwide with Hingino John Adams in our Lagos studios. Hello, Hingino, over to you.
Thank you, Norleen, and welcome to Lagos. One of the main frames of Nigeria's socio-economic development is sustaining the organic process of national integration, a journey all and sundry must be willing to take together. In this process, the mutual celebration of our diversity can be firmly rooted, invariably leading to the integration of ethnic divides for generations. These were the views of public analysts while speaking on the bond in the nation despite ethnic differences. Lanre Gbedei has details.
Immediately after independence, there was a shared belief in the nationhood of Nigeria amongst different ethnic groups. Nigerians recognized their differences but celebrated the unique diversity of cultures. To cement this bond of coexistence, the federal government in the 70s took some steps, such as the creation of National Youth Service Corps and unity schools. The 1979 Constitution was enacted, and the iconic part of that Constitution is the federal character principle, which states that every Nigerian has equal representation every facet of public life.
The new Constitution then says you would actually really need to go beyond your region in order to get 25% at least in two-thirds of the state. So that led to the emergence of quasi, at least fairly national parties.
Sadly, what the nation had then is now under threat, with the social media aggravating it. Self-serving narratives along ethnic fault lines fill political spaces and debates today.
I think it's the biggest divide, actually, especially on the tribal and religious axis. And social media just amplifies it.
People make use of social media and they gain and they learn more from it. They don't use it to bite each other. But here in Nigeria, the reverse is the case.
There has to be collaboration. There must be some sort of, cultural values, exchanges. The platforms like NYSC.
Public affairs analyst states further that the present administration's construction of road infrastructure linking not only regions but along their economic potential and the fight for financial autonomy for local governments are panacea to curing the cancerous growth of ethnocentrism. In Lagos, Lanre Bilayi, NTA News.
Talking education now, stakeholders in the education sector are encouraging parents to imbibe the culture of communicating with their children and words in their local dialects. This was the focus of a gathering in Lagos aimed at promoting multilingual education among primary and secondary school students on how to harness the opportunity with the aid of digital tools. Diana Ajali completes the report.
For instance, Yoruba will say, that is the meaning that if a goat helps a dog to walk, it will surely eat people. And what it translates is that do not follow bad gangs, because the more you follow bad gangs, the more you lose your good moral behavior.
Sumaya Jimo, a secondary school student there, demonstrating how fluent she can speak her language.
So now
as technology continues to make waves, Zacchaeus Onumba Dibiazwe Memorial Library, Zodemel, in collaboration with National Library of Nigeria, believe blending books with digital tools is key in transforming learning from the grassroots, particularly in speaking different languages, including local dialects.
We are in the digital era where technology is evolving. So we need to understand that we need to blend traditional books with digital tools to be able to learn more effectively.
One of the things I see and I believe that could work is to making students to learn with the type of language they can reckon or they can relate with.
National Library has the Green Library for the children, where they can come and make effective use of our resources, both digitally and the printout.
Organizer highlights the importance of promoting literacy in the digital era.
It's easy to use a digital format to learn a language. So you can go online and find resources that will teach you any Nigerian language. If they use online resources to learn responsibly, the world will open up to them.
Multilingual education remains a vital tool in fostering cultural understanding, social inclusion, and protection of indigenous languages. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
Those are the reports from Lagos. Nationwide continues in Abuja with Norlene after the break.
Welcome back to Abuja on Nationwide. The Nigeria Customs Service has handed over a large consignment of illicit drugs worth millions of naira to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. The handover followed an interception along Daura Road by officers of the Kano Jigawa Area Command of the service. Fatima Sanusi Karaye has the details.
The seizure comprises 28,700 tablets of tramadol and 261,750 capsules of pregabalin, worth millions of naira. The custom note that the operation was part of sustained efforts aimed at blocking drug trafficking routes and safeguard public health.
These tablets, when allowed to go into public, they have the tendency to affect our health. They weaken vital internal organs, causes addiction and restlessness among our teeming youth. Similarly, the implication and consequences in relation to security issues, they constitute violence, thuggery, banditry, armed robbery, and weapons trafficking, among others.
The illicit drugs were formally handed over to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency for investigation and prosecution.
Truly, I want to appreciate the synergy and work relationship we have with them. By this taking over the suspect and the exhibit, we are going for further investigation.
Both agencies say the action reflects a joint commitment towards confronting the rising challenge of illicit drugs in the region. Fatima Sanusi Garai, NTA News.
21 years jail term awaits 11 suspects if found guilty of pipeline vandalism and oil theft. The Special Prosecution Team of the Interagency Task Force on Petroleum Theft arraigned the suspects before the Federal High Court sitting in Yenagua, Bayelsa State. Ebenimi Zitimiola reports.
Pipeline vandalism, crude oil theft and illegal refining caused the nation huge revenue loss besides polluting the environment. To bring to book individuals and organizations involved in oil theft and illegal bunkering, the federal government inaugurated the Special Prosecution Team of the Interagency Task Force on Petroleum Products Theft. The Joint Security Team apprehended the 11 suspects for allegedly tampering with the Trans-Ramos pipeline at Opukishi, Beniside in Ekeremon local government area of Bayelsa State. The suspects were arraigned at the Federal High Court sitting in Yenagua, Bayelsa State on 2 count charge.
Going by the Miscellaneous Offences Act, if a person is caught, it goes from 21 years imprisonment to life imprisonment. It will not pay for a person, a young man should be engaged in crime that he knows once the offences are proved against him, he is going in for it.
Appeared in this matter for the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th defendant. The charge had been read to them and they all pleaded not guilty. We have also applied for bail and graciously my Lord granted the bail for all the 11 defendants.
Hearing has been fixed for the 11th of November 2025. In Yenagua, Ebinimi Zitimiola, NTA News.
Nigeria is stepping up its game by adopting advanced technology to ensure precise hydrocarbon measurements. The move is aimed at boosting efficiency and transparency in the oil and gas sector. Chairman of the Nigeria Hydrocarbon Measurement Conference, Austin Olorunshola, told journalists in Abuja that accurate measurement is vital to maximize resource value and secure long-term industry growth. Lydia Sampson reports.
According to Austin Olorunshola, a former DPR official, the adoption of digital metering and real-time monitoring systems is making a big difference. These tools are improving the accurate quantification of crude oil and natural gas volumes.
Maybe many years ago, it wasn't too much of a problem because we were only like 80 or 100 million people. But now that we are more than 200 million people still sharing this same oil and gas, there's so much focus from even citizens themselves, because at the end of the day, that's the cash register. This is really where we all get whatever revenues that government really requires. And so this is really why we're still very much excited.
He explained that this integration of technology supports smarter resource management, cuts down on losses, and strengthens regulatory compliance across the sector. To this end, regulators and private operators are working hand in hand to deploy smart sensors and automated solutions for effective hydrocarbon measurement In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
In other news, building a future generation grounded in the creative and cultural sector is the agenda of a culture and creative festival in Abuja. The event, organized by the Female Artists Association of Nigeria, drew participants from far and near. Folashade Shaba reports.
Significant role in nurturing creativity and cultural literacy in children can never be overemphasized. It is in this regard that the Female Artists Association of Nigeria organized a 3-day event for children to showcase their talent and to select a team of students to represent Nigeria in Washington, D.C. in 2026.
We are all today here to celebrate children, to celebrate Nigerian culture, to celebrate one another, to create friendship and cooperation with every one of you today.
Whatever you choose to pursue in this world, whether it's art, science, or any field, believe in yourself, believe in the possibility that you can make it. This festival is part of our initiative to take and nurture our young ones, and I believe we are at the heart of doing that.
As we gather here, let us remember that every painting, every dance, every song, and every story told by children is more than just art.
The event is more than a contest. It is a platform for expression, empowerment, and inspiration, where dreams can be realized.
Every child has a creative potential in them waiting to be discovered. So together, let's nurture, encourage, and create an avenue for them to explore.
Folashade Shaba's report there, and we take you now to our Maiduguri studio, where Abubakar is standing by with more reports for us on Nationwide. Hello, Abubakar.
It's always good to see you, Nolan, and thank you for joining us. 53,000 male and female residents of Dikwa town who lost their crops to pest invasion have benefited from food, non-food items, and cash support. Governor Babagana Umara Zulum personally supervised the exercise, which the state government now restricts to communities facing emergencies such as flood, pest attacks, or elephant invasion. Here is Mohammed Goni with the rest of the story.
With peace returning to most parts of the state, displaced persons have resumed farming and other livelihood activities as government has limited humanitarian distribution to areas hit by emergencies like flood, pest infestation, and elephant invasion. Under the intervention, each of the 18,000 male heads of households received a 25 kg bag each of rice and sorghum, while 35,000 women each got a fabric and 10,000 naira, a development they all appreciate. Governor Zulum urged citizens to obtain their permanent voter cards to enable them elect leaders of their choice.
This morning we are here in Dikwa to provide immediate palliatives to the people of this community because of drought that has happened last year. The farmlands of this community were affected by insects, killer birds, amongst others, and so people have lost, a quantum of their farm output.
While in Dikwa, the governor paid a courtesy visit to the Shehu of Dikwa, Ibrahim Ibn Umar Ibrahim El Kanemi, where he explained the purpose of his visit, commended residents for returning to farming activities, and encouraged parents to continue sending their children to school, just as he appealed to the royal father to intensify sensitization on voters' registration to obtain their PVCs. The Shehu appreciated the governor for his continued support, timely interventions, and developmental projects in the area, assuring him of his people's unwavering support for government's programs. Chairman of the local government area, Rawa Ganamodu, noted that Governor Zulum had visited the area 4 times this year, describing it as proof of his commitment to improving the lives of his people. In the headquarters of the local government, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
Away from that now to tell you that the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, is deepening its engagement with the media by training journalists on the intersection of Islamic and international humanitarian laws. At a capacity-building session in Maiduguri, the organization emphasized the role of responsible journalism in promoting peace and protecting civilians in conflict-affected communities. Salisu Aminu completes the report.
Aimed at deepening journalists' understanding of the connection between Islamic law and international humanitarian law, the training was designed to equip media professionals with the tools for conflict-sensitive and responsible reporting. Speakers emphasized the crucial role of media in raising awareness, promoting neutrality, and advancing humanitarian values, particularly in communities affected by conflict and insecurity. Speakers emphasized the critical role of media in raising awareness, promoting neutrality, and advancing humanitarian values, particularly in communities affected by conflict and insecurity.
In publishing and broadcasting content related to the severe consequences of conflict, especially on civilians, as well as our work and the broader humanitarian situation. In sum, through today's sessions, we hope to equip you with deeper insight that will strengthen your coverage of humanitarian issues.
Most of these conflicts are non-international armed conflicts and involve non-state armed groups also that they use Islamic law as their source of reference. And this is important for us to speak with all parties to the conflict, to engage and have dialogue.
They also highlighted the importance of applying international humanitarian law within the cultural and religious context of affected societies, noting that integrating it with Islamic legal traditions provides a stronger and more culturally relevant framework for humanitarian protection in Muslim communities. Participants at the training commended the ICRC for the timely initiative, pledging to apply the knowledge in their daily reportage. In Maiduguri, Salisu Aminu, NTA News.
This is nationwide on the Nigerian Television Authority. Nolin in Abuja will be back with more reports for us, but that will be right after this break.
Thank you for staying with us on Nationwide. Across the world, governments, civil society groups, and peace advocates are calling for renewed commitment to tolerance, dialogue, and peaceful coexistence at a time when violence and conflict continue to tear communities apart. In this special report, Alika Okbanacharua takes a look at how Nigerians are reflecting on the message of peace and non-violence on this International Day.
Places like this IDP camp are reminders of lives uprooted by violence. And as the world marks the International Day of Non-Violence, the lesson is clear. Peace begins with the choices we make every day, not through force, but through understanding and compassion. This year's observance comes at a time of heightened global tension across different regions. Here in Nigeria, peace advocates says the call for non-violence is more relevant than ever.
The evolution of society, you cannot stop complete violence because it's part of human existence. But we can reduce it to barest minimum.
I think if we strengthen our institutions, particularly law enforcement institutions, the security and intelligence agencies, and the governance structure all along, we are likely to reduce violence.
Hawa Usman and many others like her are living proof of the scars of violence and displacements.
I lost my husband and brother to insurgency. Since then, life has been difficult for me and my 2 children.
Violence, husband against wife, neighbor against neighbor, siblings, neighborhood is violence.
From schools and city squares to online campaigns, Nigerians are raising their voices in unison, promoting peace and rejecting violence.
For me, personally, I think one of the things societies, community, schools, families can do is to preach peace.
Advocacy groups also remind us that non-violence is more than the absence of war. It is a way of life built on respect, dialogue, and compassion. In Abuja, Alika Okpanachi, Arua, NTA News.
In the spirit of unity and celebration, the Office of the Speaker House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, has marked his 60th birthday with inmates of the Kuje Custodial Center in Abuja. In a statement, Public Relations Officer of the Nigerian Correctional Service, Umar Abubakar, says, as part of the celebration, the Speaker, who was represented by his Deputy Chief of Staff, Chamberlain Dunku, flagged off the registration of 100 inmates for the 2025 NAPTEP and NECO examinations, 57 for NAPTEP and 43 for NECO. The gesture, he says, reflects his commitment to inclusive governance and a belief that education is key to rehabilitation and reintegration. And now sports.
Super Eagles head coach Eric Chell has selected team captain William Ekong, goalkeeper Sterling Wabali, defenders Bright Osai Samuel and Calvin Bassey, midfielders Alex Iwobi, Wilfred Ndidi and forwards Victor Osimhen, Simon Moses among other players for this month 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying matches against Lesotho and Benin Republic. Nigeria takes on Lesotho in South Africa on the 10th of October and Benin Republic on the 14th of October in Uyo, and from the Under-20 World Cup in Chile. Nigeria's Flying Eagles defeated their counterpart from Saudi Arabia 3-2 in their second Group F encounter Friday morning to earn 3 points and brighten their chances of reaching the round of 16 at the ongoing 24th FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Chile.
They match Nigeria in all ramifications, even though we have more shots at goal.
We need to do better, we need to improve. Because going into our next match against Colombia, we are facing a much more technical side.
And for the fact that they scored 3 goals after not being able to score in their first game shows that their coaches are really working.
And in the English Premier League, Chelsea will host Liverpool, while Manchester United will attempt to return to winning days when the team welcomes Sunderland, among other matches on Saturday. In water sports, Team Brady leads by just a single point over Team Rafa at the top of the championship table as UIM E1 World Electronic Boats Championship bets on Nigerian waters this Saturday for a historic debut penultimate battle to crown the 2025 champions of the water. The E1 Lagos Grand Prix, slated for the Lagos Lagoon, has 21 points covering the top 4 teams ahead of the season final in Miami. Team Brady leads with 135 points, followed by Team Rafa with 134 points, among others. With sports updates, Olumide Eguntola, NT News.
And that concludes Nationwide today. Thank you so much for watching. I am Nolin Ebel Ame. Bye for now.
Abuja, are you ready? Tired of buying non-effective blender with inferior quality? Look no further. As